Well, 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 surprise! Happy Valentine's Day! I had a little bit of a sleep intermission last night. That's what I call my insomnia episodes, intermissions in my sleep, from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then at 7:20, the sun was starting to rise, and I was like, oh, how cute, I'll catch the sunrise. Let me just close my eyes for 5 minutes. Bam! 10 a.m. Got ready, made my bed. Now it's 11 a.m. and I figured I woke up at 10 a.m. Maybe I was meant to go back to sleep so that I could wake up with this brilliant idea to spend Valentine's Day together. Yes, you and me, surprise. I'm gonna put this up later tonight. I also feel like my hair woke up today and she said, it is Valentine's Day. First thing I'm gonna do in the morning after getting ready is going on 20-minute morning walk outside. I realized yesterday I did my morning walk after I ate and I was like, I just want to experiment. Like, what if I don't go outside first thing in the morning? How does that affect my sleep? Poorly. It affects my sleep poorly right now at this stage of my life. But it's 40 degrees, so it's nice and sunny, and I'm gonna put on my cute little leg warmers. I got my smart wool socks. I even put on like a little pink tank top. I don't really have a lot of Valentine's Day gear. I mean, I'm literally in sweatpants. But I was just gonna spend a cozy day at home. It's Saturday. But then my mom called me. I tried to film the first clip of this. Immediately she calls me and I'm like, oh, why does her spirit know whenever I'm trying to be creative? It blocks me. Just kidding. Nothing. No blocks against me shall prosper, as I am fully in my power and surrounded by the love and light of the universe and God. But she called me and she was like, I'm going to check on grandma because my grandma wasn't feeling well yesterday. And then she was like, you're my lover, we have to spend Valentine's Day together, I'm coming to take you out to eat. I was like, girl, the place is probably already booked. Like, you know, people make reservations for Valentine's Day so far in ahead. She's like, well, maybe we could just go to like the town over and eat something, you know, quick, casual, or just go buy some things. One thing about my mom, she loves to buy things. But okay, let's get ready for this morning walk. So leg warmers. I have just a very, like I said, I'm wearing sweatpants. You can't even see me anymore. And a tank top. It is 40 degrees, but like it's still, okay, depending on where you live, me having to squat to put this down to show you that I'm wearing like this little Sherpa. Some people, when it's 40 degrees, think that it's winter, but here in Minnesota, when it's 40 degrees, it's like spring, summer. I saw yesterday it was only 37 degrees. People were in shorts, t-shirts, because just a couple weeks ago it was -20. So it being 30, 40 degrees, that's a 60-degree increase in like the temperature that we've experienced. So it gives vibes, and I'm going in with this awesome jacket that I got in Portugal a couple years ago. This is my like 40-degree jacket. I have different jackets for different degrees, and then honestly I might not even button it, but I will just like button this. Gots to make sure the skin is covered. Hello, this is some Chinese ass shit. You gotta keep the uterus freaking protected. As you can see, I'm not really used to filming this angle. If I usually do this angle of like a get ready with me, it's on TikTok. So now that we're doing like a surprise Valentine's YouTube vlog, I'm like, hello. You just saw my cooch for a good scene there, but like I said, we're working with the angles. Here we are. This is how I'm warm. I probably don't even need gloves, and I probably don't even need like a little headband hat thing. Do I want a headband hat thing? Let me really put things into perspective. It's 40 degrees. Yes, it's really warm and sunny, but still, it's 40 degrees. Okay, I'll wear my little headband hat thing. And honestly, it makes the little fit kind of cute. I'm just buttoning this one. Oh my God, my buttons are like, I didn't button them evenly. That's okay. It is what it is. Let's put on this little accoutrement. There we go. I always forget to take thumbnails, so let me just... Valentine's Day surprise vlog. Okay, let's go get this 20-minute walk. We're on our cute crisp not hey girling me, she was hey girling someone else across the fence. But spring is officially here. I've heard crows, I've heard robins, I've heard a couple other birds that I can't quite place. And then it reminded me how in middle school I had a science class and this teacher was obsessed with birds, and at the time I thought she was kooky, but now I'm into bird watching myself and I do have my own bird watching binoculars. But she made us memorize. We had these like literal quizzes every week where she would put a bird up on the screen and you had to write down what kind of bird it was. I was like, okay, that's, you know, a little bit standard, whatever, get to know your native Minnesota birds. And then there would be the second part of the quiz where she would make us close our eyes and listen to bird sounds, and then we had to say if it was like a male or female bird and then what kind of bird it was. And now looking back on it, I'm like, that's some pretty advanced science stuff. I don't know if I was in like an honors science class, but I thought that was cool. She also made us collect bugs towards the end of the year, and then you had to like freeze them in your freezer, and then we brought them in, and there was like these list of bugs that we had to get. And I remember it was so hard to catch a dragonfly, and now I think back to that, I'm like, I don't think they're probably allowed to do that because the vegans have taken over. But on my morning walk, it's so gorgeous. Spring is here, even though spring here can look like still being careful of ice and snow. And there's this big fat parking lot that I walk by to be in the nature-esque. And this dad was teaching his daughter how to parallel park. And it reminded me that I have been an anxious person. I have experienced anxiety a lot and panic attacks because I remember when I went to go do my exam, I was like practicing. I went there early so that I could practice, you know, where they have their cones set up and everything. And I remember as I was practicing, the instructor and someone like pulled in and they're like, okay, like you need to get out because we're gonna pull in. And in my head I was like, oh my god, they caught me practicing. He's gonna fail me. He's gonna think I don't know what I'm doing just because I got caught practicing. And I had a full-blown panic attack outside. I was crying, I couldn't breathe, hyperventilating, acting as if I had already failed, and like whoop-de-woo, bitch, if you fail, you fail, you just take it again. But at that time, failing at anything to me meant that I was a failure, and it was a resemblance of my own worth. And now 10 years later, I did pass that on my first try after I bawled my eyes out. People literally probably thought that like my family was murdered in a fire or something, the way that I was screaming, crying outside that DMV area. But I did pass, and now 10 years later, I'm like, this morning I woke up and I said, may I remember that I am worthy of love, connection, and belonging. And if it may not be here yet, may I remember that it's on its way and that I'm open to it. And so that is such a different place. Like a decade can change my self-worth so much. At that time when I was 16, 15 years old, however old you are when you get your license, I didn't even know that I had low self-worth up until last year, until I was like 24, 25. I didn't even know I had low self-worth. And now I'm like, now that I've met all parts of myself, why, yes, I did have a very low self-worth. And I think a lot of people do. So I'm happy to share my journey. I want to do another video later this week or next week about how I learned to trust myself, because I did the video on how I learned to stand up for myself, things I learned from my therapist, and I got good ideas on how I learned to trust myself from the somatic practitioner that I work with. So that'll be, I don't know if I'll film that later today or not. Whenever the juices come to me, I pull out this little thing and I say, hey girl, how you doing? How you spending your Valentine's? Surprise! We're spending Valentine's Day together. Okay, I'm gonna continue enjoying my walk in nature. If you're ever feeling sad or you are having trouble sleeping, get up and walk for 20 minutes. Even if it's a negative 20 degrees, bundle up, get out there, get some sunshine, and then when the sun is setting, same thing. And then on my walk, I like to think about sometimes I'll think about 5 things I'm grateful for and 5 things that are going well, and then other times I'll just feel like my feet in my shoes. I'll look up, notice all the colors around me, name the colors. Ooh, someone's coming on a little bike. Listen for all the sounds and just let my imagination run wild in the wild. I had to take off all this extra winter stuff that I had going on, but this is what spring looks like in Minnesota. Then I also was just thinking about how I freaked out so much, and I thought that like 10 years ago when I was taking my driver's license that I was such a failure if I failed at my driver's test. And I feel like same thing with like I have my business video going up this Tuesday about how I failed at my first business, and I think that also really wrecked me because I thought that failing at my business was like I myself am a failure, and now I'm kind of realizing like, oh, maybe I actually had to fail at my business to realize that, to distinguish that when I fail at things, it means that I tried my best and it didn't work out, but that's not a reflection of my character or my worth, and it doesn't take away from who I am as a person, and it doesn't define me. So in case you needed someone to tell you, because you never heard, I never heard this either, girl. This is unlocking some inner wisdom here, is if you fail at something, it means that you were brave enough to try and that you cared, and it doesn't define your worth or characteristics, and it actually makes you cooler. And you can think about what part of myself is being brought forward after I failed at this thing, and like, what did I learn? And you got to move on. We can't be thinking in this like, I'm a failure, I'm nothing, I'm da-da-da. No, we have to choose to be stronger, because one day it's just gonna be us in this world, and you gotta figure out how to be comfortable here. And for me, it's been a lot more comfortable loving myself than it is being at war with myself. So we got to choose thought patterns and reframe our thinking to support the way of life that we desire, so all of our dreams can come true. That's my morning wisdom that's downloading from this walk. See, get out there. Let Mother Earth bless you with your inner wisdom. Let her show you the way. Let her guide you. Fabulous 20-minute morning walk. I got a little sweaty there at the end. Hello, that's my morning movement. My mom wants to go out to eat in like 2 hours, but like I still need to have some type of breakfast, so I'm warming up my homemade broth and a baozi. And then look at this cute little, I made this specifically zhuang in a pottery class because the teacher, I'm not even gonna get into that pottery class, it doesn't deserve another breath of mine. But I made my own chicken broth. Hello. Who would ever thought I'd get to the stage in my life where I am freezing chicken bones to make my own broth every month? So crazy. I'm gonna have my shebang, edit the beginning of this vlog so that it can go up later tonight, and then I'll just like maybe read my book for a little, do a little shaboom shebang. You know, there's always something to do around the house. My grandma used to peel all my fruit for me as a kid. Like, she'd peel all my grapes, peel my apple, peel my oranges, peel everything. So I peel all of my fruit now down to the core. Just peeled fruit tastes so much better. And by editing, I mean just putting all the videos into CapCut on my iPad so that you can hear and see me. That's about it. I'm not really a big editor. And now I'm watching season 3, Singles Inferno. If you haven't gotten into Singles Inferno, it is a Korean dating show on Netflix, but it has a twist where these people start on an island, like Survivor-esque, and they can't reveal their age or their profession or have like deep conversations or about like where they live. And then they play like Survivor-esque games to get off the island, and then they get to pick one other person to be a couple to go to paradise, and then that's where they can talk about their age, occupation, and see if they really like each other. And it's like a week-long dating social experiment. I love it. There are 5 seasons. Get into it. The first season's a little bit dinky. Season 2 is good. Season 3 is really good. Season 4 was a little bit of a flop. Season 5 is good. Well, damn, that last clip was kind of crazy because I forgot to screen mirror, but I was recording on my back camera and I couldn't see, so I was like, hey, go watch Singles Inferno. But anyways, now it's 1 p.m. My mom said she's coming over and we're gonna go out to eat in a little bit, and I figured since I have a good hour, I'm gonna sit outside and read my book. Look at my 960-page book that I just started yesterday, and I'm already 100 pages in. Last night I sat for like an hour and I read 100 pages up to chapter 11. It was so big that when I first started it, I have like relatively small hands, and so like my hand gripping the book was like my hand can only stretch maybe like a couple hundred more pages, but my hand was very stretched thick. I was like, dang, I've never read such a big book. This is the biggest book I've ever read. It is the last book in the Throne of Glass series, and there's so much going on. There's so many stories. I counted. I think there's like 6 different storylines that are all coming together in this finale, and so it makes you flip and like read so much because you're like, oh my god, I want to know what happens to this character, and then it just shows a chapter and then it jumps through all these other characters. You're like, wait, I need to go back to that storyline. So I'm gonna go sit outside. It's 47 degrees. I'm gonna pull a chair up in my backyard and just sit outside and read. Yes. I love reading. Get into reading. If you haven't read, I've never read any fantasy books before A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I love her writing style. It's very heartfelt. It's emotional. It's universe building. You get so attached to the characters. I read A Court of Thorn and Roses, that series first. Highly recommend that if you're into like, not even if you're into fantasy, because I wasn't into fantasy, but I'm into romance. My cousin sold me on the ACOTAR series because she was like, I think you would like it. The main guy kind of seems like your type. He's like a villain or like bad boy. And I was like, villain, bad boy isn't my type. And she was like, no, the villain is someone that would like sacrifice the world for his girl, whereas like a superhero sacrifices his girl for the world. And she was like, so I feel like just like the villain is your type. And I was like, sacrifice the whole world for me? Maybe I'll get into it. And then I was at like Costco or Sam's Club or something, and I saw the whole book set was only $60, and I was like, wait, I think this is a sign. My cousin just told me about this, and I'm seeing it at Costco. It's only $60. Bought it, loved it, finished the whole series within a month, and then had to get into Throne of Glass. Sometimes I always say Glass of Throne, but it's Throne of Glass. And this one is a lot more adventurous. This is like an 8-book series, whereas ACOTAR is only 5 books. I definitely like ACOTAR a lot better. It's more like smutty, sexy. This is more like adventurous. There's like a little bit of love here and there, but it's more so like adventure, and it can be a little bit like cruel or like gruel. A little chink chink chink, you know? That's this one. The other one, not so much, but get into reading. I love reading, escaping to like a fun little universe. So I'm gonna go escape to this little universe outside for the next hour, and then I'll probably see you when my mom gets here or when we go out to eat, and then that'll be Valentine's Day. Once the clock hits 4:20, this is going up, whatever footage I've gotten, because once 4:20 hits, hey, I'm off the clock. I won't be recording anymore after 4:20, if you know what I mean.
Happy Valentine's Day. 情人节快乐. My mom got me this little band, and now we're at Lotus about to order the whole fleet. Got you. We devoured the spring rolls, but these wings, the Lotus wings, house specialty, and my little lychee mango drink, no ice, fantastic. This is the final fleet. When you graduate from pho, you get the bumbo hiiiii. It has thicker noodles than the pho. Look at her go. And the broth is also different. This is spicy down, but it's not that spicy. Well, it depends how much you can handle your spice. I love this. Bumbo hiiiii. How do you pronounce this?
Lowy?
Oh, that was close. The closer. First she said lows. Then she said lower. Then 再试一遍.
Hoy?
What?
Lowy? I don't know.
Close. Loewe.
Oh, Loewe, so it's Loewe.
Hey, we ate. We went on a sunset walk. I forgot to share these flowers that my mom got me at Costco. If you're ever looking to get a good bouquet of flowers at a decent price, check out Costco. You don't even need to have a membership. You can buy gift cards, and then you can just use your gift cards to check out at Costco. Same for pumping gas. But that was it. It's 5 o'clock. We spent Valentine's Day together. There was a surprise vlog for you. Surprise mommy to come see me. That bumbo hiiiii, girl, I haven't had something so spicy and like heavy in a minute. But I'm like, no, I kind of want ice cream. I want a DQ Blizzard, a little mini Oreo one with extra Oreos. Should we do it? I live 90 minutes away. I don't know when was the last time I've had ice cream. Maybe it's because it's 45 degrees and I'm like, summer! Summer alert! Seasons are changing. We should do it. It's Valentine's Day. Get a Blizzard and get an extra one and shove it up my puss. Let's go. We'll be a little crooked, but this is how we're ending the vlog. Happy Valentine's Day. I did it. My mini little Oreo Blizzard with the extra
Oreos. I'm sitting in my car with my butt warmers on, watching the sun set. And you know what? I am not the only Minnesotan today that had this idea because the drive-through line was long, honey. I'm telling you, people were wearing shorts, t-shirts. I just barely got up to 51 degrees today. The inside of the DQ was packed too. What a fabulous Valentine's. I almost said Thanksgiving. I don't know why I want to refer to this day as Thanksgiving. Maybe because I'm grateful. I am very, very grateful today. And I think that prayer of just, may I remember that I'm worthy of love, connection, and belonging, even if it's not within my sphere right now. But may I remember that I'm worthy. And it was nice that my mom came and took me out to eat and went on a walk with me after. Beach. I haven't had one of these blizzards since summer. Funny enough, we hadn't been to Lotus since the summer too. Woo! The seasons are changing. Summer is here. However you spent your Valentine's Day, if you feel drawn to leave a comment and let me know. I occasionally check. Would love to hear how you spent your Valentine's Day. And also, oh, bitch, this is so good. If you didn't do anything for Valentine's Day, no shame, right? Because in 2026, shame is out. Embracing yourself and your life and your journey is fucking in. And I'm rooting for ya. I'm rooting for your true self and all parts of you. This is too good. Alright. That's it. Hope y'all enjoyed this surprise vlog. I haven't vlogged in like 10 years. But vlogging used to be my shit. And then I was bullied for it. But now, a bitch can never. I got bullied before because I didn't know myself. So I was scared. But now that I know every part of myself that there is to know up until this point in my life, I'm fearless, baby. I was thinking of maybe bringing like keep the Tuesday, Thursday sit-down videos. And then do like Saturday day in my lives. So that we can like spend our weekend together. I feel so much better when I get to share parts of my life with you. It helps ease some of the loneliness and knowing that my intention for posting every video is to connect with like-minded individuals. Now I need to do the most American thing ever and sit and eat this in my car and watch TikToks and watch videos on my phone. If you are not from America, you're missing out on getting a big ass ice cream, sitting in your big ass car, in the big ass parking lot, in your big ass uncouth, with the butt warmers on, eating, enjoying life. There's something like sacred about sitting in your car in America and eating by yourself. Holy, almost. Delicious. See you on Tuesday. Got a video out about my sustainable entrepreneurship journey. Happy Valentine's Day, my loves. Whenever you're watching this, may you always remember you are worthy of love, connection, and belonging. And sometimes if that remembrance feels too far away, sometimes you're just in a stank mood where you're like, I can't feel worthy right now of this stuff and I can't be bothered to remember. Then knowing that love, connection, belonging is on its way. If you can't remember that you're like worthy of it in the moment, it's on its way. Okay, toodaloo. I'll see you Tuesday. Leave a comment down below if you want of like what you did for Valentine's Day, if you did anything, or maybe it's just a Saturday. I'm gonna eat this in my car and then I'm gonna go home, change into my jammies, load up that Puffco, and put on the season 5 Singles Inferno reunion. It's the first time they're dropping a reunion, so I'm excited to see what the reunion is about. Even though I can see like a lot of the characters, these are actual people, the people's lives play out on TikTok, and I know that like a majority of them aren't together, but those are gonna be my evening Valentine's Day plans. Okay, bye bye. Goodbye.